Hey, this is Jill Loftus here at Goddess Nuit Astrology, and I wanted to talk just for a few minutes about some fantastic resources for you if you're interested in astrology. So, I've got quite a few articles written and loaded up on my website, so feel free to check that out, newtastrology.com, Newt, N-U-I-T, just like the Egyptian goddess of the sky. So check that out, some nice information there. So, if you're looking for like absolute basics, start at astro.com. You can get your free astrology chart printed there, and you're going to need your birth date, as precise a time as you can find, and the place, location on the planet. Plug that information in, and you're going to get more information than you know what to do with. Okay, so don't be overwhelmed when you get all that info. But what you're looking for is your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising, also known as your ascendant or ASC. So your sun sign is like the classic astrology sign that you know, like, you're a Taurus or a Gemini. But the next two pieces of information are pretty crucial for you to understand yourself. I'm sure no matter what sign you are, let's say you're a Leo, you've met other Leos, and there's things about you that you're like, yeah, oh, that's a Leo thing. But then other things you're like, that person's nothing like me. How could we both be Leos? Well, because they have other things that are in your chart that make you different and unique. But one of the first ones to look at is your moon sign, because your moon is how you are emotionally created. So you could have an emotional body, your heart, your feelings about things be very different from kind of your sun sign or who you are as a general person in the world. So how you emotionally receive the world is really important. And it's important for you to understand yourself, and it's also important as you go out into the world to kind of protect yourself and understand the way your emotions are influencing you. The next piece, the next layer, is that ascendant or rising sign, and it's called that because it's the sign in the belt that goes around the earth that's right at the horizon at the moment of your birth. So if you don't have an accurate birth time, the ascendant and the moon sign are not going to be they're not going to be right. They can change pretty frequently. The ascendant changes pretty often. The moon sign changes about every 2 days. But it could definitely influence that. So if you don't have a precise time, you may have to juggle around with some times and kind of read and see which one might be right for you. The reason I want you to have both of these pieces of information is because when you read a general sun sign horoscope in the newspaper or online, what's up for December for Virgo? When you read that, they're basing that on Virgo being the first house of the astrology wheel. Well, if you're a Virgo sun and your sun is in the 8th house, that's not going to be an accurate horoscope for you, because when they talk about the areas of life and where things are happening, they're not going to line up. So you should really, if you're reading those general forecasts, you should read your sun sign, yeah, but you definitely should be reading your ascendant or rising sign, because that's going to tell you a lot more about where all these things are going to be happening, which is pretty key. Let's say you're having a really great Jupiter transit, Jupiter is coming through and it's in your money house. Wow, you definitely have some things to look out for, versus it's over here in your relationship house. Whoa, that's going to be a very, very different experience and bring different opportunities. So you need a different kind of heads up. So I highly recommend figuring that out about your ascendant and your moon sign. So what are my favorite people that I always check out? Well, my favorite monthly sun sign is Susan Miller Astrology. She does a really detailed, super positive monthly forecast. Again, you're going to want to know your rising sign. In fact, sometimes I just only read my rising sign and just skim through my sun sign, because the placement of where in my life things are happening is pretty important. So love Susan Miller. Chani Nicholas. Chani is amazing. Get on her website. She has a lot of paid for content, but she does have a free email that she sends out pretty much right around the new and full moons. Fantastic information. And she's a balance of positive and like, let's get real. Okay. She's also an amazing feminist activist and person of just hugely a person of influence right now in the astrological world. Really enjoy her. Mystic Medusa. Fantastic website. She's got a free blog, but the rest of the content is paid. But the beauty of it is you pay a little bit and you get the daily forecast, weekly forecast, monthly forecast, as well as kind of like a really cute tarot and oracle app and all kinds of free stuff. Not really free because you're paying for it, but not included, or there's not an extra fee for those things. But there's zero advertising on the site. So people aren't trying to sell you, whatever crystals while you're trying to check out what's going on. So it's just members only. Really love Mystic Medusa. Another really great person that I love to watch is on YouTube, and she has a website as well. And her name is Nadiya Shah. Nadiya Shah is really great. She does a free weekly forecast on YouTube, and then she does special events like when something changes signs, something big is going on. She is, again, super positive, very uplifting. I've taken some courses with her through what she calls Synchronicity University, and she does have some paid content. She calls it like a superstar thing, and you can pay for that. I've never done that. It's probably worth it, but there's only so much time to listen and watch all these things too. We all have life to do. We can't just study astrology. No. Another favorite YouTube person for me is the Leo King, David Palmer. Now, you have got to get your patience on for his uber Leo over the top stuff. I mean, if you didn't know he was a Leo, you'd be like, dude, what is up? But once you know that he's a Leo, and he's also got like no filter, which actually most of the time I appreciate. Sometimes I'm just like, I really can't believe you said that, babe. But the flip side of that is that I really feel like he's, coming from his heart. He's really brilliant at math, and so he does it all in his head. Sometimes he rambles. So do I. But anyways, I think you would really enjoy him. Check out David Palmer. He does some paid content on what's called Future Life TV, Future Life, Life. And he's got his own website. You can Google around and find all that info. But he does these in-depth astrology readings every Tuesday. I find them to be super helpful. Another person on YouTube who I really love is Amber Khan. And she calls her place the Quietest Revolution. That is her site on YouTube. She's another person that has a little bit of a tricky personality, which, sometimes on, YouTube, you can kind of pick up on some things and you're kind of like, okay. But reality is I watch her sun and rising sign forecasts every month, and she does tarot with them. So it's tarot and astrology, and she kind of channels it. And wow, she's spot on. I mean, so far I've found her to be spot on. She does try to sell you some things, but everyone's trying to make a living. I get it. So those are my absolute favorites to check out. I'm sure there's lots of great other things. Let's see. There's Astrology Addict. There's a great little email from them. Stephen Forrest. Anything from Stephen Forrest, you should definitely check out. He doesn't have that much free content, but all his books are amazing. We'll get into books another day. But if you start out with just like kind of peeking around at those different little sources of information and see what you groove with, start watching that rising sign, maybe study a little bit up in your moon sign. And those are some of the great ways to just kind of get started dipping your toes into the idea of understanding yourself better through astrology. So thank you for your time. Always grateful to be here with you. Loka, Samasta, Sukhino, Bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. And may the thoughts, words, and actions of my life contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom for all. Okay. Ciao. See you later.